Welcome to the Keto Mom page. We are going to dive into what I wish I knew when I was starting this keto journey. We're going to dive into that question. There's actually tons of questions that you shared with me when I posted something the other day about just a very basic question. Share with me, what do you wish that you knew when you started this low carb keto journey? And so there's a couple of them that I wrote down that I want to go over to help bring some more explanation to why you wish you knew that. So as you're tuning in, where are you tuning in from? I would love for you to press the share button. Sharing is caring, and there's lots of other people that would just love to help have some input or ideas or help on their keto journey. So I hope you're having an incredible day. We are having an incredible day. We thought it was going to storm out, and then our storm lasted 3.5 seconds. We've got some hair issues like always. And now it's beautiful and sunny and hot. So we currently live in Minnesota. We have 4 daughters. We have been on this low carb keto journey for 6 years as a family. And my husband started about 8 or 9 years ago. So I'm going to dive into some questions that you actually already, or some statements, making them a question to give you some input. So we're going to do this quickly, but I do want to cover some of them. So number 1 was, I wish I knew, and maybe you have some too. So as we're going along, you're like, I wish I would have known this before I started. Post those in the comments. I wish I would have known the difference between vegetables that are more low carb and vegetables that are starchy. So somebody said, I wish I would have known that I really should not have been eating carrots and sweet potatoes and corn and all the tomatoes that I want. And some of you might be going, whoa, whoa, whoa. Sweet potatoes are fine, right? I want you to know, in all of what I ever talk about, whether it's a live or a picture or anything that we share, this keto journey is your keto journey. It's not somebody else's. So one of the comments was, I wish I would have known that this is not a one size fits all, that I can't just go buy a diet keto plan and make it work for me the same way it's going to work for my husband or my best friend, because everybody's different. They've got different metabolisms and different athletic performance, or different, the amount that they work out, or maybe you sit more of an office space, or maybe you're older or younger. There's so many differences. So you can't physically go buy here's your guide to doing keto, and your best friend and your husband and your grandma are not going to do the same thing. So it's just a great awareness. So there's things that I'll talk about that some of you might go, that's fine for me, and others of you will not say that, because some of you are on a very strict keto diet. Who is that out there? Some of you would consider yourself more low carb or lazy keto or dirty keto, and everybody is completely fine on whatever works for you, okay? And so when I say, I wish I would have known that I should not be eating carrots and peas and sweet potatoes, that would be somebody that's on a strict keto diet. There's a lot of people who feel great eating any vegetable. They've gotten rid of all of the processed junk, and they're going for more of a low carb, whole foods option. So I want you to hear me on that, okay? Now, for those of you who are just starting, carrots and peas and sweet potatoes and all of those things, while they're a whole food, they're more of a starchy vegetable. So they've got a higher carb content. Make sense? Next one, I wish I would have known, this is for you women, I wish I would have known, and these are not my statements, they're a whole bunch of your statements that you guys commented on the last post a couple days ago. I wish I would have known that I should not eat so much dairy. And this is something that I talk about almost every single day with a handful of women, is I'm drinking my fat coffee in the morning, and sometimes I have 2 or 3 cups, and I'll say, walk me through what you eat through the day. And what happens is I see a repetitive dairy, cheese, snack, 3 cups of coffee with heavy cream, whipped cream for a snack because it's sugar-free. And women, I know you don't love to hear this, but dairy can cause a stall. It could cause you to feel more bloated. And so when you dive into this lifestyle, it's easy to look at all of the recipes and go, I want that and I want that. And a lot of them are very dairy heavy free. But when you keep going, for me, I used to use a lot of cream cheese, and a lot of our recipes have that in there, and my kids love it. I actually can't do a ton of cream cheese. I completely took all of the heavy cream out of anything that I eat. Unless it's a small treat that we'll have on holidays, I really don't ever use heavy cream or cream cheese a lot. It was one of those things where we used to make a lot of fat bombs, And it was one of those like, I can eat it. It's a fat bomb. I can eat the cheese. It's keto. I can eat it. And you can just overconsume it. So just be aware, especially you women. All right. I wish I would have known that this is a lifestyle, not a diet. And if you can get that into your head, right, then you are going to stick with it long term. You're going to be more apt to take baby steps. You're going to find yourself not quitting. You're going to find yourself being okay with learning and growing and not getting to the end destination of the wedding or the vacation or the swimsuit season, right? Because you're going to feel so good, you're going to want to keep going. So lifestyle, not a diet. I wish I would have known how important it is to drink water, right? A lot of it. You should be drinking about half your body weight in ounces of water. So if you feel like you ever get a slight headache, you get cramps in your legs, for me when we travel, I know when we travel, I have to be mindful of the water that I drink and the electrolytes that I drink, because if I don't, I will pop out of bed in the middle of the night screaming because I have leg cramps. That is when your body's in ketosis, it's flushing all of your sodium, magnesium, potassium. It's flushing all of it out. So you need water and electrolytes. So the person that said that was, I wish I would have known how much water I needed. It's important. Keep water bottles around you. We've got water bottles all over our house at all times. So it's important. It's important in general, especially during these hot days, to stay hydrated, you and your kids. All right. I wish I would have known how easy it is to fall out of ketosis. Who tracks all of their food? Anybody on here? Who tracks your food? Where are you tuning in from? How's your day? Press the share button. Sharing is caring. Okay. When you're tracking your food and you're having your body make its own ketones. I drink ketones, by the way. I drink them and my body makes them. It just depends. I'm usually pretty high protein. Protein can kick you out of ketosis. I'll tell you why I eat more protein in a second. But if you track your food, right? If you're tracking it for a certain period of time, like we did it for a while to where I wanted to visibly see what I was eating, but I do not do it anymore. But if you're tracking your food and then you're pricking your finger to see if you're in ketosis, you'll notice that if you eat starchy vegetables, if you eat too many vegetables, if you eat too much protein, I mean, there's so much stress. If you're stressed, there are so many things that will knock you out of ketosis if you're truly tracking. Now, if your goal is low carb and do the best that you can, then you're probably not tracking all of that, but it is very easy to fall out. Hence why I drink these. All right. Next one. I wish I would have known. Oh, this one. That not everybody, it's not the same size for everybody. So I just said this earlier. It's not one size fits all. I wish I would have known to give myself some time and some grace. So one girl said, like, I am not my husband. My husband does not have my hormones, right, women? So you cannot compare your journey to your spouse, period.com, or your boyfriend, or your dad, or your coworker. Women, it is very important that you don't compare yourself, even to your best friend. Like, everybody is so different, and my body processes food differently than my husband's body, and we both know that, and so he actually has to be stricter than I have to be, and he hates that, but he jokes. He's like, she can eat all of the food that I eat, and he gains 5 pounds, and I could lose 5. I'm just giving you like a silly awareness, but it's true. His body is different than my body, so he just has to be more aware. So it's one of those things, like, don't get frustrated, don't get overwhelmed, don't quit because somebody else lost 10 pounds and you haven't. Like, I need a lot of you to have an awareness of something, because one of them was, I'll get to it. Well, we'll say patience, but, here's the next one. I wish I would have known that this lifestyle isn't bad for you. I need you to hear me on this one. Oftentimes, has anybody ever said to you, that is terrible for your body? I cannot believe that you're eating keto. That is going to kill you. Anybody ever said that? Because listen, when we first started this journey, I got grief for about 2 years. And people were mean. And I would say, you know what? Here's my response. If you came to me and you were like, yo, that's bad for you, it's going to kill you, or it's terrible for you, or it's terrible for your organs, right? I would say this to you. I would say, okay, I hear what you're saying. You must think that I'm doing the keto diet that's only bacon and butter. I'm not. I know a lot of you think bacon and butter is the keto diet and I can eat all the fat bombs that I want, but a real keto diet or a real low carb diet or a real eating better lifestyle really truly is about eating protein and vegetables and more salads and adding in some avocado, right? There are lots of reasons that people think that. Now, if you're gonna go eat a whole bunch of saturated fat, you're gonna have a problem, right? You can't just live off of bacon. You don't need to eat a pound of bacon. You don't need to put 3 tablespoons of butter in your coffee. So what I would say is, I hear what you're saying, and if you would have seen the way that I was eating a long time ago, I would say, here's the deal. I used to live off of pizza, frozen pizza almost every day, chicken nuggets, mac and cheese, corn dogs, Debbie snacks, out to eat. When I was pregnant with our second daughter, I would scrounge around the house to find $1.07 every single day so I did not have to use my card. My husband knows this, I've told him before. And I would sneak up to Burger King every day on my lunch hour, and I would go get myself a Hershey's chocolate pie because I just needed it. It was $1.07, and I needed it for every single day of my 9 months of pregnancy. Now, would you have called me out on that if you knew I was eating that? Or let me ask you this. Do you ever walk up to somebody in McDonald's or a fast foods restaurant and go, you really should not have supersized that. It's not gonna help. Oh, hey, I saw you grab your second or third donut. Do you say this to somebody at the office? You should really lay off the donuts. Have you ever said that? Isn't it funny how so many people, when you decide to make that choice to be better, how they will try to pull you down? So I'll say, listen, I think that swapping out all of that crap food for more salads and more protein and some avocado and just eating better, taking the buns off my burgers, the croutons off the salad, so that's my answer to that. Now, just so you know, the keto diet was originally made for medical reasons, right? So there's people that are on it for medical reasons. Let's just be real here. Most people are not keto, 80% fat, 15% protein, and 5% carbs for a very long time because there's life. And so there's birthday parties, there's summer vacation, there's life. And so oftentimes people kind of go in and out of ketosis, right? Unless you're on it for a medical reason, unless you can prove me wrong and you've been on it for a long time, I'm gonna guess you haven't made it to a long, extensive time to really feel like this is terrible. You need a lot of water. And let me tell you this, if you are doing a super strict keto diet and you don't feel like you're doing it right, ask a nutritionist. Ask somebody that knows what they're doing. I'm not a legal nutritionist, but I do know that when people try to do the diet, they don't do it right. And they don't track their food. They don't drink enough water. They don't drink enough electrolytes. And then you might hear people go, it wasn't healthy for them because they didn't do it right. So there is a way to do it. Make sense? All right. What else? I wish I would have known to stay off the scale. Anybody else? Okay, so here's the deal. I want everybody to know something. If you're asking questions below, because it goes so fast that I can't see it, either private message me your question, and I always get to all of my questions before the end of the night, or I will come back and answer them as I go through the thread later. Sound good? So you can always private message me, 100% here to help you. All right, I wish I would have known that there's other victories besides the scale. When your body is going through a fat loss transition, it will, you guys, people, women, men, whoever's watching me, I get this every day. The scale is not moving. I don't feel like this is working. And then I'll say, well, tell me about the inches lost. How are your clothes fitting? How are you feeling? Can you work out longer? Do you feel like are you more focused throughout the day? Like, how is your brain feeling? How is your body feeling? Oh, I feel great. I actually think my pants are a little bit looser. I feel like I can work out longer. I feel like I can lift more weights. And so I always laugh because Lynn always says this, scales are for fish. If you're gonna weigh yourself, try to do it once a week or even every 2 weeks. And when your body is losing fat, you might not see it on the scale right away, but you're gonna notice it in how you're feeling. And then it will catch up. So don't be nervous. And again, this goes back to the last question that I just talked about. If you can tell yourself this, you guys, think about this. All I need you to do when somebody's either mean, hurtful, trying to make you second guess what you're doing, or you're not seeing the scale move, I need you to take a step back. I need you to tell yourself and remind yourself, how did I used to eat? Remember what I used to eat? All the junk food and a lot of Hershey's pie. And then look at what you're eating right now. And doesn't it just make sense that I'm eating better foods? I'm being more aware of my foods. I'm not drinking the sugary drinks. I'm drinking more water. If you walk yourself through this better, doesn't it make sense that eventually it will work? If you're going to keep them.
Yeah.
Yes. So doesn't that make sense? So sometimes you just have to like remind yourself of how you're feeling, right? All of those things, because I promise you, if you stick with it, the next one was, I wish I would have known how much patience I need. Okay? Because you did not get to hear overnight. You did. I know this is a hard one because some people don't want to hear this. You guys, I wrote out an incredible, okay, I was listening to a podcast today. I'm going to tell you something. It's so good, but I need you to listen. You did not get to where you are today overnight. I'm not trying to be mean, but like you didn't gain all this weight last week. It was a 1% choice every day. And it could be over the course of 6 months. It could have been over the last year and a half because most of you have been at home. I get it. Somebody said, I wish I would have known that 2020 was around the corner and to not give up. Well, we can't take it back, so we can only move forward, right? But you didn't get to where you are today. You're not going to get to where you want to go overnight. Your body has changed significantly in the last couple of years or months. Again, there's hormones. So you're going to have to be patient and you're going to have to stick with it. You're going to have discipline. If you don't follow me in the mornings, that's why I'm so particular or so focused on reading and helping people get their mindset right in the mornings every day. Because if you don't have this right, then guess what? None of this matters. Doesn't matter because we're going to start over every couple months. I heard this saying today and I wanted to share with you. I'll share with you right now. Let me think of how it goes. Would you be offended? This is real. Would you be offended if I talked to you the way that you talk to yourself? Think about that for a second. How do you talk to yourself on this diet or lifestyle? Do you call yourself fat? Do you say that you can't do this? Do you constantly look at the mirror and say how disgusted you are? What is going on right here? And if that became words, and if I said that to you, how would you feel? Listen, there are so many times I just want to shake some people and go, listen, I need you to read a book. I need you to look at yourself every single day and say, I love you. I love you. Even if you don't believe it. Because if you can't get this right, and if you can't get this right, then guess what? It doesn't matter what you eat, or your emotions are going to take over, or you're going to get frustrated because you're telling yourself your past of why you're here, and it's not going to work, right? So, tune in the mornings. You'll love it. Okay, a couple more. I wish I would have known. This is a good one. I'm going to show you something. I wish I would have known that when the food says keto, that it might not actually be keto. I'm going to give you an example. These keto clusters. How many of you have realized, and you just have your R.A.S? Do you guys know what R.A.S stands for? Your reticular activating system. Like when you buy a van and you think you're the only person that has the van, and then all of a sudden 25 people drive by you in the hour and they all have the same van. Your R.A.S was activated, your reticular activating system, right? You have something that nobody else has and everybody has it. Okay, keto. Keto has become a popular word. I don't think it's a fad. I actually think it's super great for you, whether it's low carb or however it works for you. But the food has become quite obvious. There are lots of things that are labeled keto, and they're labeled keto because they might qualify just from the macros. If you flip it over and you go, okay, 16 pieces, you can eat 16 pieces, and you're only going to be eating 4 net carbs. There's still 4 sugars in here, just so you know. This does not qualify as a whole food strict keto diet. This is called a keto snack. Really more for people that are low carb or eating better. Maybe you had a candy drawer that you used to eat out of every single day, and this is a better option. I need you to hear me on this. This kind of goes along with the other question. Hold on. I wish I would have known not to eat all the keto snacks. I need you to not make this an excuse to constantly snack. Is it a better option? 100%. And if you're used to eating pints of ice cream and candy drawers and candy on the counter and snacks all day long, yes, this is a better option. Yes, this is a better option. but something that causes a stall in lots of people is a constant eating of keto snacks. So do not eat if you're not hungry. You don't really need to snack a lot throughout the day if you're eating a good solid meal. You're probably thirsty, so drink some more water. If you're emotional, get the junk out of your house, right? So don't be deceived. These are a better option, but they do not align with a 80-15-5. Does that make sense? Unless all you're gonna eat is this for the carbs. Does that make sense? I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. I'm just bringing in awareness because often I had a whole bunch of women go, I was eating way too much keto food, keto snacks. It was a constant like, I can eat that, it's keto. I can eat that, it's keto. Not a big deal, it's keto, but I'm not hungry. And then they're still eating and then they're eating too many good calories. Does that make sense? So that could cause a plateau. All right, last one. I wish I would have known to keep it and to understand baby steps. One day at a time, one meal at a time. That's how we started. The tip is to flip. Yes, Lynn, the tip is to flip. For example, actually that was one of the ones that somebody said, I wish I would have known to flip over and learn to read labels and just be aware of what's in your food. Because if you look at this bar, there is 15 total carbs. You can subtract fiber, which is 11. So then we've got 4, right? And then you can subtract sugar alcohol, which is 0. So there's 4 net, I think there's 4 net carbs in this. Usually it tells you. Yeah, makes sense? Does that make sense? So it's just being aware. It's giving yourself grace. It's taking it one day at a time. Simplicity, drink some water. If it works to intermittent fast, awesome. If not, grab some eggs and sausage or something simple in the morning. Buns off the burgers, croutons off the salad, grab a lettuce wrap. Simple, right? Take out the potatoes and the pasta, add some more veggies and salads, and there you go. It will work. It will work. So those are some of the I wish I would have known options in that last post that I had earlier this week. I would love to know if you've got any other questions. Post them in the comments. Press the share button so other people can come on and learn with you. You can always reach out to me, send me a private message, and I will answer it before the end of the night, I promise. So for those of you who were asking about ketones, because I kind of threw it in there, I drink them every single day. I've got ketones in my system, whether I'm keto or low carb or lazy keto. I eat a lot of protein, mainly because I like protein. I'm working on muscle building, although my daughter told me yesterday that I'm scrawny in a nice way, or she's 13. It's fine. I'm not putting her down. Like, we were joking on how big my muscles were. If you saw my stories, you get it. So we were joking, and I will always have ketones in my system, so I feel great. If you want to know more about my mom fuel, just post 5 in the comments and we can chat. So you can get a variety of flavors, trial it out. It's incredible, and I've been drinking it for 6 years. So otherwise, I hope you guys have an incredible day. Always here to help. I do take ketones. I drink Prove It's ketones. I've been drinking them forever. Sorry, these. If you want to know more about it, just post 5 and we can chat. So I'll send you some information. I would love to share more with you. I'll probably come on here this weekend and just do a video of just why I drink these, so you can just watch a very basic video. Otherwise, I appreciate you all. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.